this is Carrie with Imaginary Mockups. I thought I'd just do a little walkthrough video of using the new um, outfit mockups that I've been doing so you can kind of get an idea. I apologize, you probably will hear some children's TV in the background. um, all right, so this is the Macy Summer set from Lowland Kids. And all of these are in individual files so that they can be turned on or off, each of the garments all together. And they can also be resized or moved around the screen. So let's say the shorties, you just want to make sure when you resize it of a couple of things and move it. So one, you want to have that whole folder selected, not the individual pieces of the garment, but the whole garment folder. And then you're going to do edit and free transform. And then you can drag it around, um, move the angle that it's at, or make it larger or smaller. And then once you have it where you want it, you would just press enter or the check mark up here. I'm not going to keep the changes, so I'm going to do that. And you can do that with all of these. So you can have just two on at a time for that outfit. You can have all three or just one. And you can move them around and make them sit however you want them to. All right, so now let's add some files. I'm going to start with the shirt. So I'm going to open that up and come down to the main shirt and click on that square where it says add fabric here. And then I'm going to do, because it's almost 4th of July, do a fun one here. So I'm going to just show you in case you haven't watched the sizing videos. So let's see, this is a 12 by 18 rectangle here. So that means that this square is 12 by 12. So right now, if this is, I'm using my file at 12 by 12, and then I'm copying it to fill up the rest, that means my scaling is going to be like I were to have the fabric printed at 12 by 12. Or you can change that up. Let's say we want to do, no, let's see, 9 by 9. Okay, I'm not going to get it perfect like that, but let's see. 5. Okay, so now this is, because it's 900 by 900 pixels, that would be like scaling it at a 9-inch by 9-inch. And then just tile that until you have the whole screen filled. And then you always remember to save. Control S before clearing out of this, and that's what will have it show up on the screen. So now I want to show you, I'm going to turn these off just so I can illustrate. So we've scaled this to a 9 by 9, and this is like you were doing a 2T tank. So now I'm going to come up and maybe move this around or resize it. And you want to make sure when you resize it that you have the height and width locked together so that it doesn't get wonky. So it keeps the dimensions that it's supposed to have. But so even if I make that smaller or bigger, the sizing, the scale of the fabric file on the garment is still going to stay the same. So it's still like you put that onto a 2T, regardless of how you move this around or resize it. And that's in Photoshop. It's not going to be the same in Procreate, and in a little bit in the video, I'll move to showing you this in Procreate. So I'm not going to keep that change. I'm going to come in and do, I'm going to turn off all of the bands for the tank top so that I can change them all at once down here. So remember, whatever is on the top is what's going to show up. So if you're wanting to use the all bands or on all shirt, all garment layer, you need to turn the ones above it off. Okay. And one thing that I like to do, so if you go into the actual fabric file and do the eyedropper from here, you're going to get like the actual colors. If you do the eyedropper from the mock-up, you're going to also pick up on the other layers. So it's not going to be the exact color that is in the fabric file. But if you use, let's see if I can get the blue. If you use the actual file to pick the colors, then it will be what's actually there. Okay, so I'm going to get out of that. Now I have my colors over here. And I'm going to come down and try, see what they look like. So now I can do I like the reddy pink or the blue? I like the blue for this, but I actually think it would look nicer if we did a darker, let's see. Okay, so I'm going to copy this so that I can use it again later. All right, so I'm going to close out of the shirt. And for the purposes of this, I'm just going to show the shorties. So I'm going to come in and do the same thing and add my fabric file. These I purchased, I don't know, 1 or 2 years ago from Golden Souls. All right, so I have those on there. And I want to do the bands the same color as the shirt. So I'm going to, again, turn off those upper layers and use the all bands. And I'm going to do Control V to paste in this color number that I saved from up there so that they're exactly the same. Okay. Let's see. And so right now there is the drawstring on there. So I'm going to open it up. You can turn it off by unselecting this for the drawstring. I'm going to keep it on and change the color. Let's see if I do the same blue, what will it be like? That's okay. It might not look, that might not look so realistic though. I'll lighten it up. Okay. All right, so now from here you can change to your background color if you want to. I think gray always looks nice behind it. Or do one of the textures. Another nice thing that you can do now, because you can move those around, is if you add a different background. Say if you have like a flat lay background setup that you like, that you've purchased, you can add that directly here and then resize the garments so that they look appropriate on top of that background. So you can do it all in one instead of having to put it into, save this and then put it onto the background later. So I'll just show an example. I think it's under here. Oh, let's see. I'll do this one, I guess. So now you can um, go in and move the shorts around because there's so much on this side. Like I would move the shorts over to here, to the other side. And that looks a little bit more balanced of a picture. Um, and you can also go in then and make adjustments to like the brightness if you want to, or the photo, make it look a little bit more realistic, I think. Um, or make whatever other edits you want to before you save it. And then to save, I would just usually I like to go up to save a copy, and then I can just do a JPEG or a PNG. Okay, and save it. And you have it. So that's some of the stuff you can do with the new mockups. Hi, so I am over in Procreate now, and I don't have an iPad, so this is in Procreate Pocket on my phone. Um, so it might look different for you if you are using the full Procreate on an iPad. So this is one of the new kind of outfit bundles that comes with different garments that you can use all together as an outfit, or that you can turn off individually or on individually, so that you have a lot more options to do it as outfits or as individual garments. So I just want to show how you turn those on and off and how you can move them around within the mockup. So as you saw, you can turn them on and off by making sure you're selecting that whole folder of that mockup and unchecking the box to the right, and that will turn that one off. If you want it on, you make sure that the check mark is checked. Then you can also change what is on the front by changing the order that they are in. So again, you want to make sure any changes, movements you do with these, it's the whole entire folder and not the individual parts of the mockup. Okay, so let's say I want to move the shirt to be in the front. So now the shirt is in the front. So that obviously doesn't look good, but that might be, you might move them around and want a different garment to be in front of the other one. Okay, now if you want to actually move move one of the garments around within the mock-up, have that whole folder highlighted, and then come over to modify and the little arrow, and then you can move that whole thing around. You can change the rotation of it. You can make it bigger or smaller. You do want to make sure that you're moving it all, like both dimensions at the same time. So you don't want to just lengthen it or make it wider. You would want to do it together to keep kind of the correct dimensions and look of that garment. I hope that makes sense. So you can make it bigger or smaller. You can move it around within the mock-up, and you can change the rotation. And then once you're done, you can just go back over to your layers, and then it's moved everything within that folder, so that all of the different clipping masks and everything will still correspond where they need to. So that it's kind of nice because instead of having to purchase separate
individual pieces and an outfit, or having to put the individual pieces together after the fact, after they've already been mocked up, you can do that all within one. You basically have, let's see, with this one, you have three individual mock-ups. All of once is like a fourth separate mock-up, or if you just do like two together. So basically, you have like eight different mock-ups possibilities in one, depending on what combination of the outfit you want to put together.